What is up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans? It's your old friend IndyCar Timm here with your Buccaneers Daily Blitz for today. We are right around the corner from training camp. Hopes are high for another fine Buccaneers season. Todd Bowles seems to have removed his name from the list of coaches who could be on the hot seat in 2025. Not completely. I still think there's potential there. That's a podcast for another day, but it seems more than ever this season. By the way, welcome into FanStream Sports Tampa Bay. Welcome into the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that fun, good stuff as we toot our own horns here. But it seems like maybe more than ever, at least in recent memory, the Bucs are getting some national attention. They've always been sort of, even in 2020, that great season, the Bucs didn't come into the season other than, with Tom Brady hype. Nobody really thought that was going to happen with a Super Bowl win, even with Brady at that point. But since then, especially since 2022, guys like Mike Evans seem to be overlooked nationally. The coaching staff, which roll out whichever offensive coordinator you want to during this streak, seems to be overlooked nationally. Certainly, since arriving here in 2023, Baker Mayfield has been overlooked nationally. And it seems like that's finally taking a turn this offseason, as we're finally starting to see the Bucs in the discussion of Super Bowl contenders. They're on a lot of people's short lists, rightfully so. And it's because those guys are finally starting to get recognized, especially Mike Evans. Starting to get recognized here with the national media. Adam Schefter even had the Buccaneers on his list as he was discussing in Philadelphia.
Shefty.
The top NFC threats for the Eagles to knock the Eagles off the top of the NFC, whatever. So it's finally starting to happen, and it's with good reason. And looking as we approach training camp, as we're right there, by the way, our very own JP Peterson will be at training camp this year. We will have all of the news, updates, reports, video, audio for you from JP for this season. And this roster that they have coming into training camp, especially, let's focus on the wide receiver room. We're here to talk about Trey Palmer, obviously. The wide receiver room looks vastly different than it did coming into this thing a season ago, right? You still had Mike, you still had Chris, you had Trey, you had an unproven rookie in Jalen McMillan coming into the fold. You had no idea what to think of him. And as the season progressed, injuries plagued the Buccaneers. You had Mike miss 3 games with a hammy. Then, of course, you had that horrible injury, season-ending injury to Godwin against the Ravens with under 2 minutes to play, down by a bajillion, and going down to Roquan Smith and an open field tackle that dislocated his ankle. It was very much the same injury that Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott had on national TV a few years prior. They didn't show the replay. They didn't need to, just like they didn't with Dak. I think they did a couple times with Dak, though. It was pretty gross. But anyway, this wide receiver room is vastly different. You've got a healthy Mike Evans coming in. At some point, you will have a healthy Chris Godwin coming in. You have Jalen McMillan now that has shown a little bit of moxie, I guess, especially after Godwin went down. I thought Jalen McMillan played very, very well as an integral part of the passing game. Now you have first-round draft pick Emeka Egbuka coming in, the Ohio State wide receiver. It was a complete shock that general manager Jason Light found near the bottom of the middle bottom of the first round. That is expected to be look in the. We've already heard all of the accolades from OTAs and minicamp and all of that from Baker, from Mike, everybody just talking about how he can already play any position, a wideout position on the field. He's got a Baker was talking about his knowledge of the game already, his knowledge of the Buccaneers offense already. The guy's a savant. So you throw him into the fold. And that's going to leave potentially some guys out of the fold. And one of those guys was kind of I guess an integral part, kind of Trey Palmer, right? He not last season so much, but I think overall you could say Trey Palmer's contributed. You got a lot of guys obviously coming in trying to win wide receiver jobs. A lot of these guys aren't going to give you anything. Rakeem Jarrett's coming back. Cam Johnson. You also have Tez Johnson, the rookie, coming in along with Ibuka, who promises to be a part of it. We will see. Ryan Miller, Dennis Houston, Garrett Green, the converted quarterback. So there's a lot of names for not a lot of positions to make this team. And what the Bucs need to do is try to get with guys like Trey Palmer, who had a big part of the return game, obviously, more so maybe even than in the offense. Guys like Trey Palmer, you would like to, rather than just cutting him outright, you would like to see the Buccaneers maybe throw him out there to the trade wolves. Even if you get back which probably would be about realistic, try to get back a 6th round pick, maybe a 5th round pick, probably a 6th round pick. That's something for nothing rather than just releasing him if you don't think he's going to make the team. And that's the best way to utilize, I think, Trey Palmer. I don't know that any of these other guys, Sterling Shepard, throw Sterling Shepard in there too, but he's a 10-year veteran though. His age, you're not going to get anything for Sterling Shepard, and he may very well make the team. Of course, he and Baker have a thing since college, so they're familiar with each other. He's here because of Baker. I feel like he has an inside track to make the team, all other things being equal. But why not throw Trey Palmer out there to the trade wolves to see if you can't get a 6th round pick? Ask for obviously something higher, but I would be completely okay with trading Trey Palmer this offseason during training camp, during the preseason, for a 6th round pick. Call up teams like the Dallas Cowboys who need wide receiver depth. The Pittsburgh Steelers need wide receiver depth. Just about everybody needs wide receiver depth right now. Cleveland is in desperate need of some wide receivers that know how to play the game. They got Jerry Jeudy. That's pretty much it. Everybody else unproven. I feel like Trey Palmer is one of those kind of proven guys, right? As young as he is, 3rd season, I feel like he could have something to offer, and he could certainly bring some value to the Buccaneers rather than having to just let him go or whatever they would do with him. Waive him in the last round of roster cuts. I think August 26, 27, something like that is when they got to cut down to 53 from the 90. So just throwing that out there. You could agree, you could disagree. If you disagree or agree, we'd love to hear from you at IndyCar Timm across all of the social medias, X, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, IndyCar Timm, or if you'd like to leave a comment here on the FanStream Sports Tampa Bay YouTube channel, I would love to hear from you here. We will discuss it more, of course, as training camp progresses and we get into the preseason. We'll do a lot of roster projections. We'll do a lot of speculation on guys that will make the team, guys that won't make the team, and especially those guys that we don't think will make the team. Can we get something for them? Or are they just going to be working back at Home Depot the week following they get cut? I don't know. Well, it's fun to talk about, though. But, that's where we are with training camp about to start and trying to project some rosters and all that good stuff. I'm IndyCar Timm for FanStream Sports Tampa Bay for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Daily Blitz podcast. We'll do it again here during FanStream Sports training camp. with JP out at One Buck Place. We'll have all the audio, video for you, all the breaking news right here on Fanstream Sports Tampa Bay. Until next time, boys and girls, we'll see you.